Y'all get a good 10 this morning. A hard 10. It's early in the morning. I'm being out of pocket. Giggity. Would like to hear your approach for conditioning GPP. Maybe some ideas for cardio, fat loss versus conditioning or warm-ups. Also, honestly, I could make a whole video on this, and I probably should. Generally speaking, for GPP, for lifters, it's going to be in the rest times. I just like to gradually decrease the rest times on whatever it is they're doing. Even with SPP, specific physical preparedness, you can use the actual lifts themselves and just gradually decrease rest times without changing the other variables, for a block, and then, go from there. Sleds, pushing, pulling are fucking great. Tire flips, I know some people don't like them because they can be risky on the biceps, but if you're using a moderate tire, they're great. But even with those, go 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, 2 minutes on, however many rounds you want to extend them out to. And then you can build up the number of rounds. You can lower the rest periods. You can extend how long a round is and build the rounds. Like, there's so many ways to go from there. And that's, you're getting some cardio aspect in there, but that is very much GPP and conditioning. They're kind of all tied together. For cardio itself, like I prefer list cardio, just something low impact. Walking is great. I like the elliptical machine. Like when I'm at the gym, I can get my heart rate, going up pretty well for an extended period of time, and it doesn't really wear and tear on me too much. So that's, a little bit different from, GPP and conditioning, if you will. For warm-ups lately, my channel members will know I've been leaning on jumping rope. It gets the heart rate up pretty quickly. It gets your body used to, contracting quickly. And, it gets my body temperature elevated pretty fast too. So I used to be like elliptical machine, bicycle, things like that to get warmed up just for 5 or 10 minutes. But I've been going to the jump rope a lot lately. When the weather breaks and it gets warmer, then I'll be outside more and have more room for, sled pulls and pushes and things like that as part of my warm-ups as well. Honestly, I could probably make a whole video, like a long video about this, and maybe I will if more people want to hear it. But I will move on to the next question. Thoughts on super squats? Why does it work for so many people despite it being complete contradiction to normal strength training? It's novel. It's different. You're not doing that all the time. It's forcing you to put in an extremely high amount of effort and kind of go beyond what your limitations should be just by the nature of it. And at the end of it, your body's going to compensate for itself. It's not something that's going to be sustainable for a very long time, and there would be diminishing returns quite rapidly due to the nature of it. But in the short period of time that you do run it, that's why it's making you work harder than you've probably been working for whatever the last period you've been training, and your body adapts. How could I implement plyometrics into a powerlifting program? I honestly wouldn't. If your powerlifting is your goal specifically, it's not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze with plyometrics. That said, you could put in some seated box jumps, some standing box jumps, things like that. Can be, you could plug them in anywhere. You can do them before squats or deadlifts. You can do them after squats or deadlifts. You could superset them to some degree with squats or deadlifts. But I wouldn't do much more than that. Like actual plyometric training and getting that number of ground touches and jumps in, can be quite fatiguing, and it's not going to mesh well with a powerlifting program. So if you just want to do some fun jumps, which is basically what I do, I don't do like full on plyometrics. If you just want to add in some fun jumps here or there just for fun, and there may be the slightest amount of carryover, I would look at like seated box jumps or standing box jumps, and put them on your lower body day, wherever you see fit. Are planks alone enough for ab hypertrophy? No, there's no stretch. Planks are fucking fantastic, And I think they're great for teaching somebody how to brace, and they carry over extremely well to powerlifting and strength training in general. But for hypertrophy, you want to get that stretch in. So you need to look at some things that are, like hanging leg raises, decline sit-ups, things of that nature that are, getting you that stretch in a weighted position as well. Regular Cheetos or cheese puffs, Flamin' Hot Cheetos, fucking duh. What I don't know who I Am Quinstott is. Would you consider doing cooking? Oh, I answered you. Yeah, I've done some cooking videos there on my channel. I keep saying I intend to do more, and I really do. I just get so busy and wrapped up. I work, I coach, I have a son. I've got a lot going on. I've got some rental properties, so I'm sorry. I suck as a YouTuber. I will gladly admit that. I am not a great YouTuber, but I appreciate you guys who have stuck around, and yeah, there will be more cooking videos at some point. I just can't promise when or like, oh, this week it's definitely going to be a cooking video, because then I would be lying to you. What was your cat programming like? Similar to Westside or offshoots, or totally different? Really, man, it's just starting around, and I'd progress it linearly, starting around 60-65%. 5s and 3s mostly, because once you get even 5s, you can do at those lower percentages, but once you start to get up over 75%, 5s and cat kind of don't go anymore, because your rep quality will start to diminish. And I like to keep it pretty specific. Even you could get down to doubles and singles with it too. And really, I think it lends itself well to something like giant, or not giant sets, but like EMOMs and things like that, with really short rest periods and doing singles, so you can be really specific. But I would just progress them, 5s and 3s, like 60% up to 80-85%, linearly, just adding a little bit of weight each week. And then I would kind of go by feel. And once I felt that speed sort of diminish and it wasn't really giving me that quality anymore, I would reset it. So it's something, if you've trained long enough, and you're honest with yourself, you can go by that feel. And even you can look on camera sometimes and a rep will look fast, but in your head that shit didn't move fast. I hate when I see on like lifting forums on Facebook and stuff, people are like, oh, 385 bench press for a warm-up rep. And you can clearly see it struggle at their sticky point. And it's like, bro, that's not a warm-up rep. That's like 98% of your 1 rep max. Plus you're wearing elbow wraps, so you probably can't bench that for real anyway. And then they'll go bomb out at their next competition. Like, I don't know what happened, man. I hit this for a triple in training, and it was just a bad day, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, yeah, you hit it for a touch and go triple with your ass off the bench and elbow wraps on. But I'm ranting now. But yeah, that 60 to 80-85% range is kind of where you want to be. And like I said, I like triples and 5s when I was really in powerlifting a lot. And nowadays it's something, like I said, I'll do like the really short rest periods. And I'll do like 10 sets of 1, and just like, I'll do 1 rep and it might be at 80%. And do something like take 3 to 5 deep breaths in between, the set, like re-rack it and everything. If I'm doing squats, take like 3 to 5 of those breaths, so I don't have to look at a clock. And then set up and do another one until I get 10 reps. And a lot of times, you can get, of those 10 reps, probably 6 to 8 of them are effective reps, if you will, for hypertrophy, even though while you're still doing cat, and in a very short amount of time. Have you ever sharted and were far away from home with no change of clothes? Yeah, one time in middle school, and I just sort of ditched my underwear in an orange grove and freeballed the rest of my way home. Peace!